I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't fornicate, I don't commit adultery. That's good for you. But that ain't good. You can see a man walk a woman, an old lady across the street, and you say, oh, that's good. But when they get to the other side, he beats the woman in the head and take her pocketbook. So you don't know the motive of the one who was trying to look like they were doing good. You only know if they've done good based on their motivation and the results that they produce. Right? Is that right? Amen. So America says she's great, she's not good, because to be good means that your goodness must proceed and go beyond yourself. That's right. Your goodness must be demonstrated in your love for the people. You have to see the people as an extension of yourself. So when you do good to other people, that is good. Not just doing good for yourself. So we need a politician who goes by the principles that are laid out in scripture. And I'm going to give you this one principle, and we going to introduce our sister. Amen. When they went to the master, Brother Donald, yes, sir, they said, Jesus, when did we see you hungry and did not feed you? When did we see you sick and we did not visit you in the hospital and pray for you? When were you in prison and we did not go visit you? When were you naked and we did not put clothes on your back? And the master said, as you have done to the least of these, my people, you have done it also unto me. That is the principle by which nations and governments are judged and by how good politicians are judged. Because Jesus saw the people as an extension of himself. So our sister has been doing good work. As we have had many freedom fighters in the past who did good work. But when that trial came for the people to stand up for that individual, to say that this individual is a good person, then those people who walked away betrayed good leadership. What I'm saying to you today, dear brothers and sisters, that she has a track record of doing good to the people without being in political office. But when she gets into political office, we can't leave her there by herself. To not go out on election day and vote for a person who's been doing good is a betrayal to that person. So when she gets in the office and she's trying to do good in a world that's trying to deprive the poor and the weak, because everybody talks about saving the rich, bailing out the big banks, supporting big pharma, but nobody talks about the poor and the weak. And when somebody stands up for the poor and the weak, they make enemies with the rich and the powerful. So when she gets to the office, I'm going to say this, voting is only half the battle. Once she gets into office and tries to fight for you, we have to stand with her. Yeah. We have to be that force behind her, that when they look and see, oh, she has support. Yeah. Because my mother used to tell me, I'm closing, brother. I'm closing. My mother used to tell me all the time, boy, if you don't clean your room, I'm going to get on your backside. Uh-oh. Clean up that room or else. Y'all know what or else means, don't you? See, you gave them an alternative. You cannot clean the room, but there'll be consequences and repercussions if you don't. So when she fights for us, and they say, okay, if we don't do what you asked us to do, then what? We have to be able to say, or else. Because Frederick Douglass said power concedes nothing without a demand. Right. And we say it proceeds nothing without a demand and not backed by some power. So we have to be the ones who stand up and be the or else for our sister. And we will back her in her run to be the next governor.
All right now, boy. Right now.
So as I close, remember, Jesus said, the greatest among you is he, and in this case, she, who is a servant to the people. Let's give it up for our sister. Right now. Right. Thank you again. Isolated.
my brother. That's a tough act to follow. But I greet you in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who is the head of my life. And I just want to give you a little bit of background about Deidre. I moved from Lansing, Michigan to Houston, Texas about 14 years ago, and I'm originally from Houma, Louisiana. But I joined the Crossing Community Church where I met Deidre's mother, Minister Dixon. So I gravitated to her and she became my mom. So Deidre became my little sister because I am 7 years older than her. But I just want you to know that she is a God-fearing woman, a woman who stands for truth, who lives for truth, who has been where we are, who knows what we've been through because she's lived in the places where we've been. She's gone through struggles that we are now still struggling with. So I tell you, if you want to make change and be about change, stop talking it, get up, go vote, and make my sister, Deidre Dickinson Gilbert, the next governor of the state of Texas. Deidre Gilbert!
I think I have a big mouth. I was a teacher for 26 years. So I was in front of the class, and so I was always making noise. And I think that when I tell you to sit down, you heard my voice. And when that's what my mother would say, if you don't sit down, little girl, you know what it is. My name is Deirdre Gilbert, and I always begin by saying, guess what? I am running for governor of the state of Texas. That's the first thing. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm really elated that I have had some people that I've met along the way. And it's amazing that I didn't know Darnell at all about 2 months ago. And none of the other ones that are sitting in this room were United My Justice. I didn't know them. They saw me. Yeah. And they reached out to me. And they said, you know what? You have to come to Fourth Ward. This must be your first campaign trip as an independent candidate. Because I want to tell you, before I was independent, I was a Democrat for years. Thought that's what I was. Or was I following my mother's footsteps? Was I just following a friend, family? Was I told to just vote because everybody else was voting in that manner? But something changed me. In 2011, my daughter Jocelyn was 22 years old, and I lost her to medical malpractice. Right. And I believe that it was the first time that I literally woke up. I had been around politics. My mom had run for office. She was in the political arena, and I have been around it for about 40 years. I knew the inside, the ugly, the ugly, the ugly. Mm-hmm. But something woke me up when my daughter passed away. And I tried to sit down with legislative leaders as it related to what they call tort reform. And legislative leaders had put in a law that simply stated that my daughter's life was only worth $250,000. So every Texan that's sitting in here, that is what your life is worth. However, my daughter was special needs. So her life was worth zero. What they did, they covered up. I tried talking to legislative leaders, sitting down, conversating with them, and they had no time to speak to me. Mm-hmm. So it's time for me to make a move. It was time for me to do something. Because what they did in the hospital room, I had entrusted these doctors for years. Just like we are entrusting our lives with our legislative leaders. I didn't ask any questions. I just went in, thought that they would do the right thing, but I came out understanding something different. And that changed my trajectory today. So I'm going to say some things, and I wanted to read some things to you so you can really get an understanding of where I'm going. I'm all about writing notes. I wake up in the middle of the night with a piece of paper on the side of the bed. God tells me, you say this, and I say, I do. As she said, I'm a God-fearing person. I love Jesus. I love God.
Man.
Matter of fact, I'm a friend of the Muslim community.
That's right.
Robert
Amen.
Muhammad is my very good friend.
That's right.
He was with me when I was trying to get justice for my daughter.
Right.
And I told him I would never, ever say that he didn't mean much to me. He is my strength, and I love him dearly. And I want you to know that. And I appreciate you being here, because sometimes we don't get together because we think what we are, who we are, what religion we have is something different from who we are in the inside. We all have hearts, and that's all that matters.
That's right.
So something I wrote down and says, I'm the Texan that you don't know. I'm the Texan they didn't want you to know.
Right.
Run it down.
I thought that I could get answers, and what I got was a troubled heart. In this race for governor, I'm more disturbed than ever. I came to realize that there was something seriously wrong with humanity. I took all of my traumatic experiences, because a lot of people don't know I was 22 years old, wasn't married at the time. I had a baby out of wedlock. She was disabled. No one was able to take care of her because she had a syndrome that no one understood. I used to work for the sheriff's department. I had to quit my job. I left my job with nobody to take care of her. I had to move back home with my mother. I had to get on welfare. Nobody helped me. I was treated like a dog while I was standing in line, as if I was not important. They did not know that I had a master's degree in educational administration. They didn't know that I have a bachelor's degree in political science and mass communications. They could care less that I was a small business owner who had had a janitorial service. That didn't matter to them. And all of this traumatic stuff. And when I began to run for governor, God was telling me that I had to speak for the least of us. We are all in here are the least of us, because our government is not taking care of us. They could care less about us. They don't want us, and they're not trying to do anything for us. So as I decided to run for governor, I thought that I could get some more. I thought I could achieve some things. I thought I could change some things. Clearly, it was evident that there was going to be some hindrances to my run. The Democratic Party didn't want me. They told me that I was not a viable candidate. And so they began their little secret meetings in the back rooms, figuring out how to keep me off the grid. That's the reason why you don't know who I am, because I was out there in July of 2021. I was the first person who said I was going to run for governor. Matter of fact, I am six of six Black females across the states who decided that we were going to step up and we were going to run for an office that they said that we didn't have the viability for. Right. But their viability wasn't based on whether or not I could handle the business. They said that I couldn't raise enough money. So I started asking questions. Well, all of the money that you raise, where is it and what are you doing? Are you paying for someone's wheelchair? Are you feeding the hungry? What are you doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But saving this money, putting it somewhere and lining their pockets. That is not what we're supposed to be about as politicians. I'm not a politician. I'm a people person, and I'm here to tell you that I'm running for governor. That we're creating voters instead of focusing on candidates. I was talking about somebody today that they're doing what is called issue politics. They are trying to disturb the very inner being of people's lives. Every time you turn around, they're coming up with some kind of issue. Yesterday was abortion. Last week it was voting rights. It's coming over property taxes. And they're trying to disturb you, make you angry, because all they're interested in is not whether or not they're going to help anybody in any of those areas, but whether or not I can do enough to get you to the voting polls to get me in office. This is what this type of politics is running right now. That's not what we want. That's not what we need. We need somebody in there who's not afraid. A lot of people don't know, like he said, I've been in the background fighting. I've been writing. I've been getting some people out. I've been putting some people in. I've been running over some people. But I've been handling some things that people don't know. When you're asleep, I'm writing letters to the Government Accountability Office asking questions and saying to you that you are responsible for making sure that something happens. That people are getting what they need. And like you said, I need your help. Because one of the things is that I am running for an independent, as an independent candidate. But there is no independent party. And so I kind of thought that when I surprised them with a chess move, because they thought I was going to be on the ballot. And 3 days before the deadline, God literally spoke to me. I stayed up all night long and he gave me a list of things to what he wanted me to do. He said, I want you to become an independent candidate. And I'm sitting there like, what? And he gave me, literally spoke to me, and I'm writing in the middle of the night. My husband doesn't know because he can't see the light. He don't even understand how I see light. You know? But he's late. And I'm writing. And I've been doing that all my life. And one of the things is I always listen to God. I don't know where he was taking me, but I said, I'll do it. So the next morning, he told me to call the Secretary of State, ask them, can I change? And they say, yeah, before the deadline. I said, well, what do I have to do? They said, turn in this paper. And I said, well, if I turn in this, can I flip over real quick? And they said, yes. I did it that day. So when the deadline came, the Democratic Party thought I was still on the ticket. I kept quiet. They kept asking, why is name not on the ballot? I've been at, where is she? I don't see her. I know she's supposed to be running. And I told them, I said, I'm independent. They were shocked because they had planned it out. They had put 9 people on the ballot. There were only 3 of us at the beginning. But they were trying to run me out and take the votes. And God gave me a strategy. Now, here's the problem that I'm having right now that I'm going to need us to work on. As an independent, they have told me that I have to get 83,000 signatures. I can't pay a filing fee. But as a Democrat, because I was the first one, I paid a filing fee. They refused to give me the filing fee back. Democrats and Republicans, the two-party systems, all they are allowed to do is either they can pay a filing fee or get 5,000 signatures. I'm finding out one never paid a filing fee. One, we can't even determine whether or not you said you got the signatures. And I have proof that both of them don't have what they say they have.
All right.
Come on now. Come
So
on.
I told the people, I said, I'm not stumping another foot. I'm not getting another petition signed. I'm not getting another signature. We are going to force their hands for me to be on the ballot.
Good, good.
Because if they don't have it, you don't have it,
You know,
then I'm not going out there to get it. Because then why should I? But we are the ones that have to make them do what they say they're supposed to do.
Right.
So there's a lawsuit out there. I have a legal team that's working on some stuff. But I'm saying on June 23rd is when I'm supposed to put my application in to be on the ballot. All I'm going to put in is the application. And on the 23rd, 24th, whatever they say, if they tell me that I'm not getting on the ballot, we need to make the most noise that we've ever made.
Yeah.
We are the change that we need.
That's right.
We can change things.
Yes.
And I tell people all the time, I don't have to break the law. I just use the law that you got.
Come on now.
If the rule says that you must have this, then you must have that. But see, they didn't think about me. Remember, I was the person that's standing in line that they thought was nothing. But they didn't know that way back, God had been preparing me for this time. He had given me everything that I need.
Yeah.
He has equipped me with knowledge that I could tell you I don't even know how. I can tell you the insides out of what's happening in our government system.
Yeah.
I tell you that I'm a danger. And lastly, I don't want to keep you long, but I say again, guess what? I'm Deirdre Gilbert, and I am running.
Y'all give her a hand clap.
And y'all know what we're gonna do? We are gonna get together and we are gonna get her elected. She will be the next governor of
Yay!
And not only that, the first African American woman of the state of Texas. What y'all think about that? All right, so we want to thank y'all so much for coming out here. We want to thank Community Step Up, United My Justice for helping us with this. And and also big shout out to the Dot Bookstore for letting us come here always to use this place whenever we want to have a different type of event. So again, we want to thank everybody. Again, it's time to go. All right, I told you we weren't gonna keep y'all long.
I do have a website because he already said he was there.
I looked at
And, I can say one of the things that I wanted to say about that is that most of the times that the third party candidates really don't do what they're supposed to do when they're running. It's just that they put their name out there, no website, no nothing. I knew that in order for people to take me, seriously, that I had to do just what they do. And I had to show them that I'm just as good as you are.
That's right.
And so I didn't put nothing trash out there. I had a website.
Right.
I don't just put stuff out there and people always say, what is your platform? We got too much on the plate. And like he said, I could tell you, I put these bullet points. But as candidates, real candidates, we need to really think about what's really going on in these communities. And so you can go to the website. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Every Saturday morning, I'm on 103.5 FM, where I do a radio show called Healing Texas, where I'm talking real truth about what's really going on. I'm not afraid to speak the truth. I'm not afraid to telling you, because God says we perish because we are what?
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. And we need to know how things are working so that we can do what we need to do as citizens of this state. We can take control of Austin, Texas. And I'm telling you, I've gotten calls, telling me kind of if I could stand down, not to speak on subjects. As a matter of fact, I helped with getting Maria out of prison just recently. I just helped someone else get out of the hospital for they medically kidnapping people out of these nursing homes and putting people and taking all of their properties. This is what I love to do. And someone did write me. They sent me an email, said, ma'am, I know you want to run for governor, but we really need you really fighting on the ground. And I said, I need to be governor because the governor has the power of the pen. And we need to be in the room, all of us, galvanizing how we can make our communities great. We shouldn't have the homeless. We shouldn't have that. I have been working with the homeless community for what, 12 years now. And that's what I do. And I tell people, the two candidates that you see cannot tell you about real life because they haven't lived it. I have.
Right.
So I know how you feel as a mother who child out of wedlock. I know the homeless population. I know what teachers are looking for. I'm telling you, God has given me something. It gives me chills down my spine.
Yes.
And he's telling me to go. And I'm saying, God, I don't know how I'm going to do it. But look at today.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in me.
Yeah.
And I promise you that when I become governor of the state of Texas, we are going to have a, what's that? Oh, happy day. Thank you.
Yes.
Just one, are you taking questions?
Yes, that's
Okay,
fine.
if not, okay.
I just have one question. You mentioned that you didn't want to get the signatures, and I was just wondering, is it worth the risk? Because
Well, it's impossible to get 83,000 signatures. The system was already put in place for you to fail.
Hell, yeah.
So we tried and we looked at it, and it would cost me $1 million in order for me to have put people on the ground. And when I was running as a Democrat, as I said, fake polls and all of the things that they were doing to suppress me kept me from getting funding because people thought I wasn't running. People thinking I'm out here, oh, is she crazy because the race is over. And so I couldn't get the publicity. I couldn't get out there because they wouldn't allow people to see me. So they still acting, it's only two candidates. That's all you see. I'm of the mindset that, again, we have two candidates that we can't prove that they have the statutory requirements to even be on the ballot as nominees. So I did pay a filing fee. So in actuality, I'm a candidate. I don't know on what team, but I'm the only one who actually paid a filing fee.
right. And thank you for that
Thank
clarification.
you. So trying to get 83,000 signatures, the biggest of the biggest have tried, but at the end of the day, the party is responsible for their own oversight. So guess who would look at my votes and look at my petition? The Republican Party at the Secretary of State because the governor appointed them. So how good is that?
Mm.
This is kind of like it's very useless.
Right.
So it's really busy work.
Okay. Yeah.
So legally, like we said, we have to just legally fight them. I have a legal team who is looking into that. I've done my due diligence by filing. It's in the hands, matter of fact, it's in the hands of the feds. I'm not blamed.
Right. Okay.
So I've gotten it places so they can't say you didn't know. So when June 23rd comes and they're asking me for that, I just want to hear the response. And once we hear what they have to say, we already know where we got to go.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we go, Dad, have any more questions?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I'm Lisa Latoya, and I just had a question. I wanted to know, I'm very excited about your run. And I wanted to know what way can we help for your campaigning, making phone calls and things of that nature. I would be interested in assisting in any way that I can, and I'm sure that my sisters and brothers would as well, some of them. So I just want to know how I can help as an individual besides voting.
Okay, well, the first thing is that we have to get on the ballot access. That's going to be the main thing. That's why I'm talking to people about making sure when we find out on June 23rd, there's going to have to be some noise if either one of those parties say she can't get on this ballot. That's going to be the first and foremost. once I get on the ballot, then we can talk about phone calls because they already ready to take me on the road. And we already ready to start moving and doing what we need to do after that. So ballot access is the main thing. That's it. And so once we know where we go from there, then we know where we have to move. Okay, so they give me 2 steps when they only have 1. Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of other parties that are out there. Have you, I don't know if any of those parties, like Green Party, coincide with your philosophy, your vision? And how
Y'all doing Q&A right now?
size the Democratic Party that you've been aligned?
Hold
Well,
on a minute.
Texas
Just give
only
us 10 minutes.
identifies 2-party systems. That's why you're only allowed to vote for them in the primary. But in the general election, you can vote for anyone that you want to vote for. So there is a Green Party, there is a Libertarian Party, and they're already voted in. Because there is no independent party, because on any given day, a person can decide that they want to vote independent. There are over about 3 million people who identify as independent. People don't know that. But again, I don't know, she may be a Democrat, but she can go in the voting booth because she doesn't like either one of the candidates and she can vote independent. There has been a poll that just came out that simply says about 58% of the people now want an independent candidate in this race. So that looks good, and they know that, and that's the reason why they're going to try to keep me off the grid, because they know that nobody's really caring about any 2 of those parties right now. What they're looking for is, they don't want that.
Right.
So I can win this race because there's a lot of people who will come out. And when I tell you, they know, because there's a voting issue around here. In the primaries, only 3 million people voted, or 1.4 out of how many? 27 million people? That's telling you something. But if they have hope, people are looking for hope. People are looking for hope. But they have lost hope in the 2-party system. And if we can, do some things, it takes some prayer. But I don't think that God makes mistakes. No. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't tell me to go somewhere with me not knowing. I just have to believe. And that's what I'm doing now. I believe that there is something that's going to happen. There is going to be a turbulence of something out of this race. What it is, I don't know. But I believe in the Gideon's army, where they are all ready to fight each other, because that's what they're doing now. And when I get down there, all I have to do is just walk in. And so that's what we want to do. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
Close it out.
Yeah, but before I do that, I wanted to let everybody know that we do have the June is Men's Month. I do stuff in the community, Juneteenth, but the event that we put on is for Men's Month, is the National Men's Health Month. And so a lot of people say, men have a month. Yes, you do. We did Women's Month, we did Mother's Day, and so we have Men's Month, and we're doing Manpower and Music Fest, and so we have a flyer. It is going to start off with a 5K or 1K, walk, run, walk. You do whatever you want. You register. So we have so many spots for the nation, and like I said, want to get involved. He's been taking care of us on this thing right here, because I half know what I'm doing half the time. But yeah, flyer. If anybody can get a flyer, we have some in the bag. Encourage you, friends, family, to get involved with the walk and run. We're going to have a speaker. I put my put in my mouth, and I talked about Sister Katina, because somebody told me that they were going to line up and speak. But anyway, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, we have a list of things, speakers from 8 to 2 before the sun hits. So we're going to be out there learning a lot and empowering and loving on men, because they have done so much for this community. They have done so much for the bookstore over the years. So we try to honor them each and every year. This year, we're going out to Trinity Park and doing something in the community.
All right, two things. First of all, little known Black History fact. I'm actually registered as an independent.
All right.
on Black History Month. Okay. I just want to get that out the way. Yeah, I just want to get that out the way. Now, with that being said, I told you there's some good. All right? Let's get behind good, okay? All right. With that being said, she's a woman of God. I'm a man of God. Y'all don't mind a prayer, do you? All right. But everybody just stand for prayer. We'll close out. In the name of our God, our sustainer, we ask that you bless us. We thank you for this gathering today. We ask that you continue to inspire all of us as we proceed to go out and do good in your name and try to make a better world for ourselves and our people. Amen?
Amen.
We go in peace.
All right. We're live right here on the John Williams Show. And we're finna end this thing, so I'm finna just go over and just let everybody.
So John,
Yeah.
that
Go
was
ahead.
pretty good.
Huh?
That was pretty good.
Thank you. We're not done yet. We're just gonna go get the end of everything.
Yeah. Somebody play the piano?
Say it again.
Is that somebody playing the piano?
No, that's just music they playing. All right, let me get everybody going out. Yeah. Beautiful. All right, that was really nice, y'all.
Go get Miss Deidre.
All right, we're gonna get ready to walk the facility.
John, go get Miss Deidre.
She talking to people.
You gotta go guard your way, buddy. You're a news anchor.
I ain't gonna bombard her.
I know it. Get a little older, you know. Yeah. And I'll let you know if give us the information we need, because like I said, I have to get up and then once we find that out. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right.
That's our show. All right, Daniel, give me a little something.
Black flag. You black people flag.
This is the president. This is the president of United by Justice right here. Say something to us real quick.
Hey, thank y'all for watching. Now we live.
We live. Just say
Who we
something.
live at?
Say something to us live right here.
What is
John
that?
Williams Show. Just say hi.
Hey, how y'all
President
doing?
of the United by Justice.
You want me to put it out?
Yeah. Put it out. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Look at that.
I'm gonna use them when I go out to the smoke weed place. You better have it around it. 'Cause you know they got it.
Yeah, that's it. I love it. Yes, I love it. I mean,
I'm gonna give you a stick. And put me one of those sticks on. You know how they have the stick?
Yeah.
There I go.
Yeah, you got a stick, yeah. There it is. All right, y'all want to say something to the John Williams Show? Say something to the John Williams Show. How did you enjoy this today?
Peace and blessings. I really enjoyed it. I was just very truly God sent.
Yeah.
He is a beautiful spirit, beautiful person. So
Yes.
I'll go out and vote for Deidre Gilbert.
Yes.
Governor of Texas.
Yes. And you heard it right here on the John Williams Show right now. Right here, live. Okay. Here I come. Let me come around here, y'all. I don't want to leave none of my stuff here.
This is my brother Eric. This is John Williams. Tell about your talk show.
This is my talk show right here. You can get on, say something to us. We live right now on the John Williams Show. If you want to share something, go ahead and share your experience here today.
It's outstanding. One, I didn't expect it to be so prolific when I came. That Ms. Gilbert is really on a mission for our people, and she's going to make a significant change. So we should really try to get behind her. And not just that, I was just reading something by Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German theologian who spent time in New York at Abyssinia Baptist Church and Union Theological. And he says that when people don't stand up, they are shirking their responsibility, especially Christians. You have a responsibility to stand up, so we can stand with her.
Right, and you right here on the John Williams Show, 49 TV. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Yes, anytime. Well, Doc, we're gonna go around and we're gonna get us some more interviews from some people right here. So, would you like to say something to the John Williams Show? You live right here on the John Williams Show. What did you think about today?
It was interesting. I learned something that I didn't know.
Right. So you know that there's a candidate out there that you did not know about. Right. And she looked like us.
She looks like us.
Right. You see that? You see that? All right, y'all. We're going to go and we're going to try to go get some more interviews. Here's a young lady right here I wanted to interview. She had asked that question, and I wanted to get her real quick. But she's going to talk to Deirdre. So, but I want to try to get her real fast. Who else? We got a lot of people outside too, y'all. Lots of people outside. Let me go over here. Like you said, I'm a journalist. Let me get her. She is. I can't get her. She was across the board. Okay. So I wanted to get you. This is John. Oh my Lord, are you? No way. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, so let's get into light. Let's get into some light. So you had a question. And you wanted to. So what did you think?
I'm excited. I'm very excited for my country to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
I think that she's going to be great for the people. I think she's for the people, about the people, about justice and for all of us. All right. So I'm very, very excited.
Yes, me as well. I mean, this is something new, you know, for Dietrich Gilbert and for our community, especially in the state of Texas, because we would not know, you know. And I'm glad that we do know some of the things, some of the backgrounds of some of the things that she was talking about. But here's our opportunity and our chance to really stand up and do something for our people and for ourselves, for a change, and get behind somebody. We had a Shirley Chisholm in the 60s, late 70s, early 70s. And so this is the Shirley Chisholm, I say, syndrome shockwave going back into our black women. It's a beautiful woman.
I like that. Oh, well, praise God. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I'm very excited, and I know you are, and hopefully we can get this thing going. And maybe you can be a part of her campaign.
Absolutely. I would love that. Thank you.
And thank you for your interview.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for your
ma'am.
time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right, you as well. You see that?
Yeah.
I know it's probably hard to hear. But we're gonna go and I'm gonna grab two more people real quick. Let me go try to grab one more person.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I got 5 minutes. Okay then. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go outside. Might find somebody outside. Hold on. Yeah. All right, we got my brothers outside, right out here. Go back in. Oh, they got it going on outside, y'all. right here at Doc Bookshop, right here in Fort Worth, Texas. Look live, right here. We're gonna go back on the inside for a minute, y'all, where the action is. And this is gonna be, this is pretty much the end. It's pretty much over. I gotta grab my things. Here it is right here.
Let's be quiet. Let's try what I call an underground railroad campaign. I mean, well, have you ever seen a race like this? You don't even get any money. I said, I ain't never seen
They don't want any change.
Right. And they don't want anybody to really know that they're right. Somebody else running.
Not even like knowing the shit. We gotta go to Austin.
What's gonna be next? Are we gonna get together and start jumping on those? We need to go to Grand Prairie.
Say something to us, my brother.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, world? Terry Price. What's up? What's up? To my boy John, man, in the building. Yes, sir.
So how did you enjoy today?
Hey, I enjoyed it. It's a beautiful thing, just knowing somebody's really trying to do something. It's about time, man.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give us a little word of encouragement.
I just want to let everybody, if you want to be that change, you want to change, we got to get out there and do our part, man. So let's go change the world, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes,
We
sir.
heard some things here that we haven't heard in a while. We got a famous candidate that looks like ours, and plus she's a mother as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
yeah, yeah.
you know, we have a lot of like things that are taking place with her that take place within our own community. And this is somebody who can get behind and rally behind and not let the way that society has put in these voters and all that kind of stuff, the way that they've done us, not let them give us this backlash and then we just turn around as if there's nothing we can do.
That's right.
Because there's a whole lot we can do. And there's a whole lot of people that's ready to stand up and get it done. And we're ready to get it done.
Right.
And this brother here, he's going to be, tell us a little bit about yourself. We're looking at getting you to run for city council here in the city of Fort Worth, Texas.
But Donnie B put that out there, you know, run for city council. But I'm thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a father, man. I like teaching people about ownership and wealth on my podcast. So I just know, man, we need to do something different, especially in our community with the gentrification going on.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad for Sister Deidre to come out here and represent all the way from Houston.
All the way.
And I'm glad, man, you doing this interview with me, man.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah, we got a few more minutes before we go off. So yeah, a little about your podcast and how to get in contact with you, stuff like that. And we're gonna do a show as well together, you know.
Well, you know, I have my own production company, City Boy Fresh Production. You know what I'm saying? We invest into movies, music videos, and talent. And besides that, man, like I said, I'm a father. You know what I'm saying? Of 3 beautiful children. And so I'm just representing right here.
Yeah, right. My justice, right. And so, my shirt is in my bag right now.
Yeah, man. So I decided it's time for me to get off my butt and go out there and make it people. Matter of fact, I had an Indian guy. He's from India. He told me, man, he said, you know what? Your people need you. You need to go out there and help your people, man. So that really resonated with me. I said, you know what? You're right. Because a lot of times we just turn a deaf ear to our people, but we help everybody else. So
we do.
I'm glad I hooked up with John.
We do, man.
Donnie B, everybody else, man.
Absolutely.
So I'm doing my part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Sir.
That's the whole ideal of it.
That's right.
Everybody's doing their part and pulling their weight.
Right.
And when we all come together, do our part and pull our weight.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing lacking. Matter of fact, that's what we call in the Bible the Acts Church.
That's right.
Because everybody has everything alike.
Action.
Yeah, lights,
sir.
camera, action.
Action.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. And you know, I got a few little things that I got going as far as plays. You know, I did plays, I did videos and stuff like that, stage plays and stuff like that, and community acting. I got a play now. It's called Reconstruction 1888 Aftermath: The Footprints of Our Lives, and it's about the African American experience here in America. But if we had all the greats in one city, in one town, and if it was burned down, what would they do? How would they bring it back? And that's what we need to do. We need to bring back. We need to bring back those things that we have lost. Those things that have been the underbelly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And those things that have been just shunned out. We need to bring those things back and show the world that we are and we can be.
We coming back.
We coming back. We coming. Actually,
New black man.
The
We
new
back.
The new black. The new black is
The
back.
new black.
The
We
new
coming
black is
back, baby.
The new black is back. Right.
Yes, sir. Come on.
So,
Come
yeah,
on,
come on.
yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, you
something
say
to the
something.
world.
Say something to us on the John Williams show.